Are you always wondering how you can take your designs to the next level instead of just offering basic text on a t-shirt? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create a fun and unique design such as this one using perforation in your design. We're going to be using a free online design software known as CadworxLIVE. So let's head over to the screen and start. So as you can see on the screen, I have two designs that are unique in their own way, but they're using the same type of effect, and that is perforation. All right, so perforation can be utilized to make a design nice and lightweight whenever you're using heat transfer vinyl and allow you to offer something more unique to your customer as opposed to just basic text. So while we are using pretty basic fonts in here, we're able to add the perforation so that we can make something unique and give it dimension so that it catches your customer's eye more than just a simple font on a t-shirt. So I'm going to start by moving these up to the top of the screen, and we're going to start from scratch and create a design that looks very similar to these with the perforated cuts. Right, so I'm going to start by adding text, of course. So we're going to use that top tab up in the left-hand corner and type in the text that we want to use. So I'm going to type in a school name and choose a font. All right, with the font, I want to go with something a little thicker than most, nothing super thin. So I'm going to use my go-to, which is this font here, and double click, right? So it's a little bit thicker, not super thin lines, such as a font like Arial or something like that. All right, so I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to go ahead and break these apart by going to shaping and break apart by region. So this is going to do the same thing as ungroup, all right? So many design softwares out there use the term ungrouping for this, but we're going to be using the break apart by regions. It does the same exact thing. All right, so I'm going to make sure all my letters are grouped together. All right, so I'm going to go to shaping, condense, and do both of those. All right, condense, right. And now what I want is for these to be roughly the same size for the type of design that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to look at the width of the Highlands portion of my text, which is 9.4. I'm going to do the same thing and make this roughly the same size so that it's proportionate but not too large. So you can see here that I can drop this down a little bit, and I'm also going to make it a little bit shorter so that it's not overpowering the bottom text either. All right. All right, so I'm going to highlight my text and make it a little bit larger so that I have more room to work with here. The next part I'm going to do is center my text so that they are lining up accurately with each other. All right, so now it comes to adding the perforation, such as the lines that you're seeing up here in this LAX design. All right, so I'm going to go to Add Clip Art, type in line in the search bar, and a bunch of horizontal type of designs are going to pop up. This is my go-to over here, this horizontal, it's like diagonal and it has several lines that we can use. All right, so I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so that it's not overpowering my text. All right, so now it just comes down to one feature that CadworxLIVE offers, and that is known as back minus front. And essentially what that's doing is taking the lines and punching it through my text, or as I mentioned, creating perforated lines. All right, so I'm going to rotate this to the side so that it's not cutting off the top of my L there. Still want that point to be there. All right. I can make these even smaller if I need to, if I want to create more lines. I'm going to drop this down. Okay. So at this point, all I have to do is select my lines, Control, and also select my text. All right, so I held Control on my keypad, so now both are selected, and now I'm going to use that back minus front option that we were talking about, which is under the shaping tab. So I'm going to scroll down to back minus front and select that, and it's going to punch that through. The key thing here to perforating more than one text is keeping the lines symmetrical so that they look like one piece all over. All right, I'm going to bring this to the front by right-clicking and going to front because it automatically sent it to the back. All right, now I just have to drag this down to the desired location that I want to punch this through. And I also want to be careful that I am not punching through multiple text. So these lines are fairly long. Of course, I can shorten these if I need to, but if I can get through my letter without compromising another one, I can keep it at that size. So same thing, I'm going to select that, hit the Control key, select Laurel, and now I can do shaping and back minus front. All right, so you can see how easy it is to create perforation in your designs. It's just taking the desired type of clip art that you want punched through and utilizing that in whatever way you need to. So I have that selected. I'm going to hold Control, select Highlands, and do the bottom portion of my text as well. Right click, bring it to the front. Shaping, back minus front. And you can just keep doing this throughout the entire design until you get exactly where you want to be. Now, if you want to get this in a certain area, instead of just doing the edges or one piece of a letter, all you have to do is break these apart and make sure that you are selecting the lines and one letter by itself. So for instance, if we wanted to do the L inside of Highlands, all we would have to do is go to Shaping, break apart by region so that we're getting this separated from the rest of the text. All right, I'll bring this in. Make sure it's on top of my L. All right, Control, select my L, shaping, back minus front. All right, and now the perforation is in the L and I didn't damage any of the other ones that I didn't want to have that perforation. All right, now, if you wanted to add more perforation, such as the lines that we have going throughout our LAX up here, we can do that as well by just grabbing one line instead of using a group of them. So I can get rid of this clip art because I don't need it now, right? Add clip art. I'm just gonna select that single line that is in my horizontal option. All right, I'm gonna rotate it so that it is about the same diagonal as the other ones so that it is fitting well. All right, so we're at about that same one. And now I can perforate by just placing it wherever I need it to, making sure that it's on top of my text. So I'm gonna change the color so that I know it's laying on top. All right, and I can select this, shaping, back minus front, and it creates the same thing, same type of effect. All right, so being that these are still ungrouped, if I want to create that same effect down at the bottom, I'm going to do shaping, condense, so that those are all grouped together, and drop this down, right click to bring it to the front so that it's on top of the letters. Select my Highlands text, shaping, back minus front. All right, so it's very simple to do, and this is a really cool effect that really takes this to the next level as opposed to just standard text. All right, now I'm gonna show you how you can create this punch through like we did with the state champs and the Royals hockey. All right, so going back to my add clip art, I'm gonna bring that diagonal line or that line back in, the horizontal line. All right, I'm going to increase the height of this line. And this is a really unique way to add personalization or custom text to a t-shirt. All right, so say this is my standard design up here, the Laurel Highlands, but I want to do it for a specific sport. All right, so let's say we're doing baseball. So I'm going to add my text in here. Choose my font, and this is going to be a nice thick font as well, nothing super skinny, because we're going to have to go in and weed this out as a negative. First, I'm going to increase my character spacing so that it fits that rectangle that I just created accurately. So I increased it to 0.25. I can increase it even more to whatever desired, even by typing it in. Right, so they have half of an inch in between each. All right, so I'm going to drop this on top of that rectangle I created and size it to fit. All right, so looks like we're all good to go there. So I'm going to select both of those, the text and the rectangle. I'm going to select Align, all right, so one tab over from Shaping, and I'm going to choose Center Middle. That is going to align the text and the rectangle so that they are proportionate to each other. I'm going to bring each end in so that there's not excess material there that we don't need. All right, and one more time just to make sure we're nice and center, we're going to select that center middle again. All right, so it went ahead and moved that over for me. Now I can do Shaping, and the same thing we've been doing with the lines. We're going to select the back minus front, and now we've created a negative of that baseball text. Perforating your text and creating punch through with basic fonts is a very easy way to take your design to the next level easily with CadworxLIVE. It's free, and all you have to do at this point is just send it to your vinyl cutter. Now, if I wanted to add different colors in here, such as we did with the Middle Creek State Champs, all I have to do is break it apart and select what colors I want the lines to be, the baseball text to be. It's all very simple. And that's just how easy it is to create perforated text in your designs and take them to the next level. For more tutorials on CadworxLIVE.com, subscribe to our Stahls TV YouTube channel.